Hello my friends and welcome. This is the latest update from Ukraine. Let's go straight to the front lines, the hottest part of it, Avdiivka. So Russia has some success, unfortunately, in this region. They moved a little to Stepove. So let's go for the military map update. It was yesterday and it is today. Actually, they are very close to that village, and according to the information I have, the fighting is ongoing just in Stepove. Sadly, but it is the first sign that Russia might potentially cut the supplies for the Ukrainian army in Avdiivka. As you can see, they are not that far away from the main supply road that connects Avdiivka and Orlivka. So Ukraine uses this road for supplies. I'll just show it to you on this military map. So this road is mainly used for it, and also this road too. They're very close to each other. So Russia advances from this side to the industrial part of Avdiivka. If they take this part under control, the destiny of Avdiivka is understandable. So Ukraine would have to withdraw the forces well before Russia takes this part under control. Otherwise, our guys would have to use the field roads, and during the wet season it would be a madness to evacuate our forces from the place. Simultaneously, Russia advances from the south to Severne, and this road is even closer to the front lines compared to the northern part, so Ukraine can barely use this one because it is reachable by Russians. The distance from this place to the front lines is 1.25 kilometers, very close. In general, the distance for the Russian army to pass to encircle Avdiivka is 6.5 kilometers, also not a lot. So my prediction, my friends, is unfortunately Ukraine would have to withdraw the forces from Avdiivka. It's just a matter of time. Why do I think like that? Because Russia has basically unlimited resources to send for the Avdiivka encirclement. They have the political decision made to encircle this town, so they will continue to throw the mid-waves again and again, taking the small parts of the land, and Ukraine will do everything obviously to defend Avdiivka, but we have the limits. Russia doesn't. They are ready to eliminate thousands more of their soldiers for this particular goal. It's crazy, but that is what they do. Yes, there is still the chance for Ukraine to keep Avdiivka under control, but that chance is quite low compared to what it was just recently. It is not really the second Bakhmut because the different forces are in use. There was the Wagner army, more capable, and they had losses. The Russian army is not that capable, but still they continue to fight, and they have even more losses compared to Wagner. But it is the Russian army strategy, so they waste their soldiers for a couple of meters of the land, but they do it constantly. So in general, after some time, they may achieve their goal. We also have the confirmation about the Russian advancement from the other resources, so definitely their fighting is ongoing very close to Stepove. Still, for today it is not that bad. Ukraine is capable to repel the most of the Russian attacks, so today Russian forces went to Stepove, but Ukraine forced them to retreat. We have even video about it, but before we go to it, let me tell you about the sponsor and the partner of my channel, the constant partner, Atlas VPN. They recently came out with a Black Friday deal where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium just for $149 per month, plus you'll have 12 months extra. I personally work with Atlas VPN, I think, for already 1.5 years, and I can confirm that this is the best VPN service out there, especially for this record low price. First of all, I do care about my security because Atlas VPN has a special design data breach monitoring system. If I have the Atlas VPN warning, then someone tries to reach my device, I switch off the public Wi-Fi. Atlas also has awesome feature of the multiple devices support from the single account, so I use Atlas VPN on my iPhone, laptop and iPad. I always keep it on to make sure that my devices are protected. Then I have some free time, I would like to watch my favorite series on the Netflix platform, so not only Atlas VPN gives me the permission to access any kind of series in my country which are blocked or not blocked, but it gives me fantastic streaming speed. And now, my friends, please check out my personal link in the video description just below, or scan the QR code available on the screen, where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for the record low price, just $149 per month, plus you'll have 12 months extra. The deal is time limited, so hurry up to join the club. This unique offer is valid just for my followers. So let's go to this video. I'm just gonna show you some of the screenshots because of the regulations of this platform. So Russia sent one more convoy to get Avdiivka under control. They landed some of the infantry near to Stepova, and this convoy was attacked by the Ukrainian anti-tank missiles TOWs. Plus, later on, the FPV drones finished this convoy. However, some of the infantry still went to Stepova and they took the ground. We even have one more video from the drone. So those are the suburbs of Stepova, and this is the Bradley armored vehicle that was used to target the Russian infantry. So Ukraine repelled the Russian attack today very successfully. Also, FPV drones went inside that hole, targeting the Russian infantry that was hiding underground. At the afternoon, Russia sent one more attack, again with infantry and armored vehicles. But Ukraine was already ready for that move, so our guys used the FPV drones to target the Russian vehicles together with the Russian infantry. This picture was taken by the Ukrainian FPV drone, which collided just into this vehicle full of infantry. Later on, Russians even sent the tanks, but all of them were repelled and destroyed by the Ukrainian defenders. So Russia continued to send more and more reinforcements to the place. It is their tactics. Russian soldiers just go and comply with the orders. It's strange as for me, but that is what they do. And here we have the footage from the Russian drone. Ukraine sent one of the Bradley and one of the Leopard tank to cope with the Russian forces which had landed in Avdiivka region. So Leopard tank is here, the Bradley is on the front, we have some of the smoke generators, and basically this video shows the job of the Ukrainian forces. I'll publish it on my Telegram channel. Sorry my friends, I cannot publish those kind of the videos on this platform because of the rules. Speaking about the losses in Avdiivka region, only for the Russian side they lost 65 of the tanks and 133 armored vehicles, plus for today some of them were added. As you see, many of the vehicles were even abandoned. Usually Ukraine finishes those with the drone attacks, but at some cases Ukraine is able to trophy the Russian armored vehicles and tanks. So totally for 1 month Russia lost 221 armored vehicles plus tanks and other different vehicles. And those are the losses for Ukraine: 8 of the tanks and just 4 of the armored vehicles. So totally 16 plus 2, so 18 vehicles Ukraine lost over there. So again, Russia and Ukraine, the ratio for the losses is terrible for the Russian army, but nevertheless they continue to move ahead. Ukraine continued to use the Stugna P anti-tank system against the Russian tanks. So today the video was released how they target the T-90 tank close to Avdiivka. T-90 is the best Russian tank, but still it has nothing to do against Stugna P. This is the devastating weaponry for any kind of the tank. As for the other parts of the front lines, there is no significant movement, just some sort of the territory that Ukraine was able to gain recently. Kind of strange, but anyways, there is some turn movement. I didn't know that Russia is still controlling that island over here. I don't think that there will be the major advancement of Ukrainian army, for example, on the south, somewhere over here or over here, without the intensifying of the military supplies for Ukraine. First of all, from our allies. By the way, Ukraine is also producing some of the weaponry for its own army, but it's not enough to hold the Russian aggression. The good news are coming from Germany. They're planning to extend the military support of Ukraine and double it. So before they promised the military support for 4 billion euros, and now they will provide us with 8 billion euros military units and other stuff that we need crucially. Guys, you see how everything changed after 1 year. Before, Germany was not eagerly supporting Ukraine with a modern weaponry, but later on, and right now, it is the leading country which supports Ukraine. Now the military support from the United States is quite restrictive because they have limited funds from the previous agreements. For the next year, we're not sure what we'll have from the United States of America. Some of the European leaders say that they'll have to intensify the military support of Ukraine in case the United States drops it for some time. However, in a long-term perspective, there are still some issues to implement the military help for Ukraine, even from the European Union countries. It is said that Germany also opposed it for this moment, but at the same time they increased the military help for Ukraine for this year and the next one. An interesting interview with President Macron, he says that France will support Ukraine in its defense, but he also said that the next months would be critical for Ukraine as it struggles to retake lost land in counteroffensive operations. He also added that it's not yet the time to negotiate with Russia, however those negotiations might start in the future. Plus, one of his main remarks that if Russia allowed to win in this war, you'll have new imperial power in Europe that could potentially threaten other former Soviet Union states like Georgia, Kazakhstan and others. The words he used, that if Russia allowed to win this war, it means that if we drop the military support of Ukraine right now, Russia might win. He says like that. You can read it between the lines. The United Arab Emirates and Turkey agreed to restrict the supplies for the Russian Federation. Those two countries are the main Russian hubs to receive the goods which are banned by G7 countries and the countries which apply the sanctions on Russian Federation. But the main supplier of Russia still remains China. Just a brief update on the Middle East, Gaza Strip. As you can see, Israeli forces are moving towards each other and soon they're gonna meet somewhere over here and circling the Gaza Strip, totally cutting the access to the sea. There are numerous of the attack vectors that IDF performs now on the Gaza city, so soon they'll take it under control. I expected before that this operation would be fast, but it is even faster than I thought. As for the tunnels underneath the Gaza city, most of them were identified and already cut by Israeli forces. They used dogs for that. So in the future, Israel will establish the full military control over the Gaza Strip. 1 year ago exactly, Ukraine was able to liberate the Kherson city. It was the biggest city that Russia was able to occupy for the long 8 months. But finally, under the pressure, Russia was forced to retreat their forces from Kherson and the right bank of the Dnieper River, leaving this important bridgehead for Ukraine. Actually, it's the last time that Ukraine got this huge success on the front lines. We all expected that the summer counteroffensive operation of Ukraine would be similar or same as the operation in Kherson Oblast at least, but unfortunately, as we see it, Ukrainian counteroffensive stalled. It doesn't mean that Ukraine will lose this war, but we underestimated our enemy after the successful operations in Kherson and Kharkiv Oblast. My friends, please press the like to this video to support my channel. Also, check out my personal link in the video description just below, where you may find the Atlas VPN Premium with a huge Black Friday discount. The deal is time limited and valid especially for my followers, so hurry up to join the club. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.